when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop?
Okay, I want to go first because
Okay.
this one is fun, and
Okay.
I don't think you're going to guess it.
All right.
Okay. The feelings that he had for you, they forgotten while I'm plotting on the Swiss and the cheddar, the better bitch, the clever bitch that any weather shit together bitch handles your nigga like a rookie. Got his mind, got his money, got his face in my pussy. A licky licky. I ride him like a pony, act a fool on his dick, don't get hard for you, no more whore. Got you with a headache, blowing up his pager trying to plead your case. Too late, extra out, the best you understand. You ain't shit no more. I can't give you the last lyric because it's going to give it away. You want me to do it again slower?
I was like, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do it slower. The
Okay.
feelings he had for you, they forgotten while I'm plotting on the Swiss and the cheddar, the better bitch, the clever bitch that any weather shit together bitch handles your nigga like a rookie. Got his mind, got his money, got his face in my pussy. A licky licky, I ride him like a pony, act a fool, his dick don't get hard for you no more, whore. Got you with a headache, blowing up his pager trying to plead your case. Too late, extra out, it's best you understand. You ain't shit no more.
Is this
And
Little
then it goes,
Kim?
it's not Little Kim, but you're in the right era. Just the
I was like
wrong
Pager.
coast. Exactly. It's that gives it away. Wrong coast. It's not even a coast.
Is it
But
Trina?
okay, so you're getting warmer.
Okay.
But no. But you're getting warmer.
I don't know.
Should I give you a hint?
Sure. Why did you start giving me a hint?
She is from Louisiana.
Is it no, I was gonna say, is it the Brat?
Brad is from Chicago.
Chicago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, kind of the same, but no, she's from Chicago.
Who's from Louisiana?
Okay, she's from New Orleans. I didn't want to tell you that very specifically because I think that would just give it away.
Who's from New Orleans?
I'll give you one more hint. This song inspired the City Girls to take off. Like, this was the song they sampled for their hit song that went viral, that was their breakout song. It's the City Girls and I came to out-rap you. What song are they sampling?
I don't know the name of the song.
Hold on. I'm gonna play this and see if you can hear it, and then if you can hear it, let me know.
I don't know the name of them. Who's this?
That's Mia X.
Mia X. Okay.
Yes, she was signed to Master P. No Limit, and she's a really big like female rapper, like in the 90s and like the early 2000s. Yeah, and she had a very like, her verse was like one of the only, I think it was the only female verse on Master P song. Make them say, nah. That's Mia X on that song. I brought it up because of the interview that she did that I put in the hot topics that we're going to talk about. And it just had me thinking about Mia X. And this is like one of my favorite songs. I love to do this song karaoke.
Really?
Yep. If they don't have it on there, I'm like, y'all are missing out.
So what song was that?
It's I'll Take Your Man.
Oh, so that's what it came from, that song. It came from that song. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
It's I'll Take Your Man by Mia X.
Okay, cool. No, I would have not gotten that.
Oh, okay. That's just like my favorite verse. Like, got his mind, got his money, got his face in my pussy. His dick don't get hard for you no more, whore. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh my god. Okay. I think you're gonna get this one, but
well, I think if we're keeping score, I'm much better at this game than you. We might need to find something different. I think we should do trivia. I think we should come up with a random trivia, like an accolade or a record broken. Okay. Just to give you a fair advantage.
Oh, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
I'm just playing.
Anyway.
I'm just playing. Okay.
Where am I starting? Where is it? blah, 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 blah. Okay. Baby, this some Fenty. I don't do no Vicky secrets. Please don't take no pictures, babe. It's giving sneaky. We can make no flick. You won't get mad and try to leak it. This pussy
I
like
love
a
this song.
perky.
I just want to finish hear you rap it. I knew as soon as you said that. He see I got these panties on. If he nasty, tell him eat it with my panties on. This pussy he'll get wet on nigga if his money long. If you ain't tricking, then you spending all your money wrong. That's Ken the Man, no panties. A song that's still in my rotation.
It just heavy. It just resurfaced for me, so that's why I had chosen it.
I love this song. I love that song. Love Ken the Man. I've been listening to her. You know what? We talked about the mixtape, and we didn't have like great things to say about it, but we both have songs that we really love. Yeah. And I feel like I've been returning to those songs a lot lately.
No, same. I was like, in general, listening to her discography like this past week. And I was just like, damn, like these were some hits.
Like she kind of be going off. Yeah. Like she said, bitch thinks she the one, told her be more realistic. Like, you better talk your shit, Ken. What are you talking about? Okay. No, I feel like I've been, since her mixtape dropped, I've been just like, she's been in my rotation. I don't know, maybe it's the algorithm. But it like she's been in my rotation like a lot more like heavy lately.
Same.
You know what?
I'm not mad at it.
Ken. I never gave up on you, girl.
Right.
I never switched up. Maybe a little bit, but
I was like, we're like, just get some better representation.
You know, you need a little help, girl. Yeah. But everybody do. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Where My Girls At. We're back for another week. It's it's May 4th. Are you a Star Wars fan?
Oh no, I'm not.
Are you either? No.
Okay.
You know what I think it is? Is like I feel like I missed the boat. Like it's so many movies now. How can
Low-key.
How the fuck? And then people be like,
you
can't watch in order. You got to watch 6, then 3, then 7, then 1. Girl, what?
Nah.
The fuck are you talking about?
I'm not really into that like sci-fi genre in general. And it's also, but the amount of movies is intimidating to me though.
It's too many. And then they start doing remakes and I'm like, okay, I know they came out in the 70s. But girl, give a nigga a chance to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what else is tea though? I've never seen Harry Potter or The Hunger Games.
Okay. I recently saw Harry Potter a couple of years ago. I saw like the first 2. And then
I saw the first one. That was it.
I've never seen The Hunger Games either.
Ever. I didn't even read the book.
And I probably won't.
I gotta be honest. I just don't think it's for me.
I think it passed. The ship passed.
And you know what else is crazy? The only reason I ever saw any Marvel movie that wasn't Black Panther, because I went to go see Black Panther, was because all my friends were super into Marvel. I never watched those fucking movies. You know what I used to watch when I was younger? My dad and my brothers were super into X-Men. So really? I have seen every single X-Men movie that's ever come out. But that's it. That's really it. I can't do it. You know, I get a headache. All that shit happening at once. Like, it's too much special effects. This is why I can't do 3D. That shit gives me a headache, man.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with me.
I remember when 3D came out, like those like glasses, you would be like, whoa. Like,
did you ever take them to school and wear them?
Did you ever poke the glasses out?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. That exact pose. Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, that was an era.
It was such an era. Anyway, how are you? What have you been up to?
I've been good. I was about to say, since the last time we talked, we both went to concerts.
Yes, so we did. You see how I did my hair and it's ginger?
I did.
Ginger now?
I like.
I did that for Beyonce.
Yeah.
Aww. I'm going back on Wednesday.
Oh, she has 2 performances in LA?
No, she has like 6 performances in LA.
Oh, man.
I went to the second show. There's another show today. I'm not going today. She has another show on Wednesday, and then she has a final show on Friday. And the tea is I didn't get my merch because we were like late. We weren't late, but we arrived at the concert because we were coming from so far. Man, we were sitting on the fucking freeway for like an hour and a half.
Jeez.
Like trying to get to the venue. And I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to take us 2 fucking hours to get there. But when we got there, there was no time to stop at the merch truck. So we go and we're like running to our seats, like running, because I'm hearing, like, I'm like, I want to drink. Girl, I got to get a drink before I sit down.
Yeah, well, drinky drink,
I
yeah.
got to get a little something. So I'm like, I got to go to my seat. And then when we got out of the concert, it was like 11. It had to be 11 something. And bitch, I got to go to work tomorrow. Like, I would love to stand in this long ass line to get my merch, but I got to be honest, I got to get the fuck home.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get the merch that I wanted. So now it's like, I could go and pull up today. I don't have no fucking time to go all the way to SoFi Stadium. So I gotta wait. And then they talking on Instagram and on fucking TikTok that the merch I want is sold out. Like, everybody going to get the same thing, the jersey. Everybody wants the jersey and it's sold out. And so I'm really pissed. I'm like, I need that jersey.
Dang.
I need the jersey. My friend went, like, she went the day of my concert, but she wasn't even supposed to go to the concert. She was just going to buy the merch, which everybody is doing.
Interesting.
And it's pissing me off because I want it and I actually have a ticket. So I don't give a fuck if I gotta go again on Friday. I'm gonna buy a nosebleed. I'm getting this merch, bitch. And if I gotta go see the concert so I can get inside the venue to get to that merch truck, I will do that.
So be it.
I will do that. But girl, Beyonce is running my pockets dry.
I was about to say, two shows plus
she
merch?
running my pockets dry. But when I tell you that goddamn that lady, I just lost my fucking mind. I cannot believe how good the show was. And it was like, I had a seat in the 200s level, so I didn't even have like a floor seat. When I tell you, I could see everything. Blue Ivy stepped, okay, like that little girl, I mean, she walked down that runway and she was hitting that shit. Like, she was keeping up with the professional fucking dancers who've probably been dancing as long as she's been alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, the mixes, she added new songs. I heard there were like a lot of malfunctions at the show. People were talking about it on Twitter. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. When I tell you, this lady sounds so fucking good. She looks so fucking good. She was up there having fun. And I was like, bitch, me the fuck too. And then, and I think it was like at the end of the show, she starts flying around on a horseshoe, flying around the fucking stadium on a horseshoe. And then flying around the stadium in like a Cadillac, like, car or whatever. Like, I was just so fucking floored. Like, I feel like, you know what? I never care about how much money I spend on Beyonce because every time it's worth it. Like, really? I swear to God, I left that concert and I wasn't even exhausted. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about everything that I saw with my friends. And we were in the car on the way back, just like, like, how is it possible that every single time I see this lady, it's the best concert I've ever been to?
Wow.
Every fucking time.
See, now I wish I went to Renaissance because, like, I wasn't a fan of, like, Cowboy Car, or I didn't listen to it like that. But Renaissance was really good.
No,
and
Renaissance
I wish I went
World
to that.
Tour. I will say I still like Renaissance a little bit better because it was more of like a party vibe. This was not so much like a dancey kind of show, but she was up there, baby. I mean, she was barely using her fucking backing track. She was just singing for like 3 hours almost. And I mean, this lady is blowing the fucking house down.
Yeah.
Okay, like it was amazing. But how is Kendrick and SZA?
No, I'll have to let you know. Hold on. Well, before moving off of Beyonce, my friend Alicia, who was on the show, she was at the LA concert, and so she held up a poster for Beyonce because it was her birthday, and Beyonce wished her happy birthday.
What? Oh my God, that's literally my dream. The thing is I told you, I can't do general admission. So
she
how
was on
is
the
she ever
floor.
gonna see me? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, and she did like the Beyonce.com.
Exactly.
Like, oh, bitch, she really got that. She deserved that shout out for that. Shout out to you, Alicia. Happy belated birthday, girl.
I know. She was like, my birthday's made. Like, I can't ask for anything else.
Yeah, my year would be made. I would be on Twitter like, did somebody get that? I know y'all streaming that shit.
I know y'all heard that.
I know y'all heard that. That was me. Yeah, that was me.
But no, Kendrick and SZA were good. Definitely like elevated experience. So I was in a box.
Right. You told me.
It was beautiful. Like, I think they had some malfunctions actually with their audio. Because there was points in the show where it's like, there was one point in the show where Kendrick, I think the track had like gone off. And so he paused for a little bit and they weren't doing anything. And then he just started rapping off the dome. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to continue with the show. And
what
so
a professional.
Yeah.
See, me, I would have walked off stage. Y'all don't want to do y'all job? I'm not doing mine.
Together.
I'm not doing mine. I'll be back when you ready.
But it was interesting, though, because I thought that SZA was going to open for him.
Oh, no. It's like a co-tour.
Yeah, so they were going back and forth.
I think DJ Mustard is like the opener.
Yeah. So
that's not what we want.
Right. But like it was cool. Like he Kendrick started off the show with like whacked out murals.
Of course.
And then like he did a couple songs, then him and SZA would do their joint song, and then SZA would take over.
I love
that. And then like they would keep flipping back and forth. But I feel
Did you ever go see On the Run or On the Run 2?
Mm-mm.
That was what Beyonce and Jay-Z did. Like, a lot of people were there, obviously, for Beyonce, like, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is I don't think people realize, like, rappers don't do stadiums. If you're going to do a stadium, you have to have a singer with you. Like, it's not done. So when he said he was announcing the tour with SZA and it was going to be a stadium tour, I'm like, oh, so this is, like, going to be, like, On the Run. Because it would be good. Like, Beyonce and Jay-Z would do some songs together. Beyonce would do her set. Then Jay-Z would come out and rap and, like, do his set. And they were just going, like, back and forth like that. And then they ended the show together.
Yeah, exactly. And I was surprised how well they did, like, I think to your point of like as a rapper, like having to capture an audience that large, and like he had a bunch of performers with him. Like he was like,
girl, he loves the dancers. Did you go to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? He was
no.
Up
This
there
is my first time. This is my first time seeing Kendrick.
Right.
No, but they did a really good job. I think they did a good mix of like captivating their complete discography. And so like she would play stuff from Control, and like he played stuff from stuff from what is it? DNA and stuff like that. But it was
from
really
Damn.
Cool. Damn. Yeah, I was like, Damn. But no, they did a really good job together. And like I was pleasantly surprised, I think, of the back and forth nature. And I was like, man, I forgot about the song. Like, I forgot about how this was. But it was interesting going to a concert with your parents because I'm like, all the people there, they're like, they don't know the albums like that. So I'm in here like this, and they're like,
and then they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. Kendrick.
Oh my God. That's so good. I'm glad. I'm so excited. I still have a couple weeks before it's my turn for the show, but
it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts.
I can't wait. Okay, should we get into some hot topics?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Flo Milli had her baby.
She's a whole mother.
She's a mother, and honey, she looked good.
Yeah.
She looked good. Why is Flo Milli 8 days postpartum performing at a music festival?
I didn't see that.
I saw that on Twitter yesterday. She had a set at a music festival. Girl, that baby's raw. Like, you still smell like you gave birth. And you are out here.
I can't.
If that is not a recession indicator, what is?
She's like, still got to get this check, though.
Baby, she's a mother. She's got a baby to take care of. She has a son. That is I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud. I'm so happy that it went well and everything. But she's a mother.
That's crazy. I'm looking at the video of her at the concert. I'm like, bounce back. She's like, let's get this going.
Child, you don't need to be bouncing back that quick now. You should be in the bed. Okay, I don't know how pregnancy works or postpartum works, but you should not be up that motherfucking quick. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wish her the best.
Yes.
You know, I hope that her baby daddy, I hope they in love and he's not like terrible like some of these other niggas.
I was about to say he's some Haitian man who's doing her right, hopefully.
I hope he is, you know, because she deserves that. You know, I'm really happy. And not to be like rushing her or anything, but like let's get back to some music now. Like what's up now?
Let's get back to the music.
Like what's up? What's up? You know what I mean? What's next now? I want to know. Okay, moving on. We have a lot of like Megan Thee Stallion stuff. Let's save it. Save it. Okay, I want to first talk about Little Simz. Little Simz did an interview with Billboard about her new album, and baby, this is kind of like some tea.
It is some tea.
It is some tea. First of all, the thing that first caught my attention was she said in the interview like she has like completed like 4 different projects since her last project came out. but then she cut ties with her manager and she had to let those projects go. Like, she cannot release the music.
Okay, so I don't think I fully grasped like what transpired amongst her and her manager. Like, the manager stole money from her?
No, what I think it was.
Was it a loan?
I think what it is, what it's saying in the interview is that it was a loan that she put the money up. It was a loan. It's like saying 1.7 million pounds, which is about $2.2 million. She said it was a loan that they put up to do something together. Like the producer Inflo, who has worked with her, and his wife Cleo Soul, who I don't listen to, but a lot of people like her music.
Oh, you don't listen to Cleo Soul?
I guess I've never just heard it. You know, but it said that like, oh, and then another artist, Michael Kiwanuka, I don't know who that is, but it was their group did a live show. So she fronted them the money to do the live show. And I guess they had a contract that she would pay him back, but then she couldn't pay back the tax liability like once she got hit with it for it because they were supposed to pay her back. And she said that like really got to her because she said they came up together doing music together, and then she's like, I got to a point where I lost my sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And then she said this album felt like a breakthrough. And then on the opening, look, I have to read this quote directly. She says, and then on the rambunctious bluesy album opener, which is yet to be released, she spits, I'm lucky that I got out now. It's a shame. I really feel sorry for your wife. This person I've known my whole life, coming like a devil in disguise. Whoa. Some tea is about to be spilled.
Yeah.
Like some tea is about to be spilled.
But I feel like we were talking about this like when she had released that single, and I think she says it in here. I forget where she says it, but basically she was saying how like this album isn't for everybody. This album was for me to release like all the things that I've been holding inside, basically, because she's been going through so much.
Clearly, and we didn't even fucking know.
No, but we were like, Amazon, we're like, what happened? Like,
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Who are these snakes in the grass? Apparently, it was the niggas that was closest to her.
Close to her. Yeah.
That is crazy. And then she also talked about in here, like it says, with more guest stars than any of her previous projects, none of whom she's ready to reveal. There are a lot of voices on the album, but Simz undoubtedly remains at the center. Well, bitch, I can't wait for June. I'll tell you that much. I can't fucking wait for this album to come out. Mostly because, like, we love Lil Simz, respect her. But, you know, something that I cannot not mention is I love drama. You know, I love mess.
Something that shouldn't be missed.
We can't leave that out. And I'm excited for that as well. I want the tea, but I want like 6 degrees of separation from it. You know, I want to be a participant. I don't want to be a participant. I just want to be a viewer.
You want to be an outsider,
I want to be an outsider, just eavesdropping on it. I just want to peek in on the drama. So I'm really excited for Little Simz album.
Me too.
I'm really hoping like, you know, I feel like I've been on, and we'll talk about this when we get to new music. I'm trying to get more into like UK female rap or like, or female rap that's like outside of the US. Like I'm trying to listen more to that. So I would love for Simz to like put me on or like put on some of the girls who like I hear music from every now and then, but I'm not super into their music from the UK. Cause I know there's like I'm not going to say vibrant, but there's a scene out there of female rappers in the UK who are spitting and like they're really good and they make all kinds of different rap music, you know, out there. And so I would be really interested to see her collaborate with them, you know. I would also be really interested to see her collaborate with some of the, you know, the Mendem, where the fucking like Stormzy, who are the other guys like what's the Skepta, Skepta, you know, Central C, I guess. But some of the like Dave, like I would love to, I would be interested to see like her collaborate with them because I remember back when she released her project and then she was up against them at the Brits or whatever award show there was. We were like, Little Sim should win, Little Sim should win, Little Sim should win. And then one of the guys won and then everybody was kind of like in an uproar, like, why didn't she win? And I feel like do they like, I just wonder like in that community, because it's like, obviously we
Mhm.
have such a limited knowledge of it. You know, we're not on like UK Twitter or UK
Yeah.
media. What is her position in this music world? Like, how do people
That's
view her
true.
in the UK? Like, how
We
well is
need
she respected?
we need like a UK correspondent. Like
Honestly, we need to find somebody,
somebody.
okay?
So if
We
anybody's interested
for
in being our London
foreign correspondent.
correspondent, let us know.
A foreign correspondent, bitch, because I want the tea now. I want to
That's
know.
interesting take, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
Glorilla. So
Yeah.
Glorilla is holding a concert in Memphis. It's called the Glow
Ooh,
Bash.
Glow Bash.
I love that. First of all, I think that's a phenomenal name. And it's like the first annual, so clearly it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be Glorilla in France. You know how like Lil Baby does those concerts in Atlanta for like his birthday and stuff like
Yeah.
that? I love that Glorilla is doing this.
Me
You
too.
know?
I think this is like I think it's a good way to pay tribute back to your hometown. Like you said, Lil Baby does this. I think Jack Harlow has done this in Kentucky. Like
Not Kentucky. Who pulling up?
he
The
has
Appalachians?
stop it.
No,
He has a Kentucky
I'm joking.
But no, I think it's like a good homecoming, and like
Yeah.
also it's a good way of like she's a hometown hero.
She
type
really
thing.
is, though. I want to see, like, I want 3 6 Mafia to come out. I know she's going to have
Ooh.
some of her label mates. Like, I, of course, want Moneybagg Yo to come out. I want Yo Gotti to come out.
What happened to
I
Moneybagg Yo?
You know, here's what I've actually, what's crazy is I was thinking the other day, like, I don't know what, I was listening to, like, some playlist that I put together of, like, 2010s, like, music.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of like, damn. And I think Yo Gotti was on the song. And I was like, damn.
Yo Gotti, yeah.
It's so crazy because I never would have expected him,
What
you know, being the kind of rapper that he is, to be such a good label exec, you know,
Yeah.
to be handling her career so well. But before her, there was Moneybagg Yo. And I feel like there were a couple years where he was really on top.
He was
like,
on top.
So what's happened?
I don't know, because I'm like, I haven't listened to Moneybagg Yo. I haven't downloaded a Moneybagg Yo song.
I don't even know what he's doing right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was thinking, like, A Gangster Spain, which has, like, you know, what is it, Waukesha, Time Today, whatever.
Oh my
like,
God, excellent
album. And I'm like, what happened to? I feel like he fell off.
I wonder. It's not even just that the music fell off. It's that he's not even. He's like gone poof, invisible.
Yeah.
Like, where is he? You know,
Right.
like I don't. He's just not around anymore. And I'm just so and I mean, obviously, I'm speculating, but is he, because he's no longer like the cash cow? Has he shifted to Glorilla and we've put Moneybagg Yo on the back burner at CMG?
Maybe.
Like, what's happened? You know, because they
I
had
don't
that
know.
collaboration. Remember? Her
Yeah.
and it was like, I think last year or maybe it was the year before, they had that collaboration. And to me that
Mhm.
felt like a label thing. Like a label thing that they put that together.
Yeah, they're like, y'all need to get on the song.
Y'all need to get on the song because he needs your clout
Your
now.
clout. Yes,
He
exactly.
needs your clout now. And
Mhm.
not the other way around.
Mhm.
So I thought that was so interesting. I'm really proud of her. You know, it's crazy. She just concluded her first headlining tour.
Yep.
And from what I saw, besides all the people fist fighting in the audience, it looked real
Yo.
fucking niggas was in there fucked
Tussling.
toe up, honey, tussling. And you know what? I respect her for being professional. You know,
Me
she's
too.
like, y'all gonna keep fighting. I'm not fucking staying.
Yeah,
The fuck?
bye.
I'm not. Nobody finna sue me. Okay.
Okay, I do want to talk about this Karahbooo and Yachty thing.
Oh, we're gonna get to that literally now. Okay, moving on.
So like,
should we talk like some background?
Do you want to do the
before?
backstory?
Let's do a little backstory. Do you want to, or should I?
I feel like, okay, how about you chime in and I can say like what I've heard.
Yes.
So it was what, last year, right?
I think it was last year. Yes.
That Karahbooo separated from Lil Yachty and the Concrete
Allegedly,
Boys.
she was kicked out.
Or kicked out, right?
And the Concrete Boys.
Since that time, she claims that she hasn't been able to release music because it's technically under the same, like, the Concrete label, basically. Yachty is claiming that she has been completely able to release music on her own as long as she got signed by a new label and whatever. There's no ties. But now, I guess Karahbooo has been sending out a flurry of tweets
Yes.
online, kind of sharing like, hey, I can't release
Should
music.
I read some of them? Should I read some of them?
Sure.
She said, "We are now on month 11 of Little Yachty, keeping me in a deal just to be petty and keep me from releasing music and moving on with my life. Guess the lying on my name, trying to turn everyone against me because I wanted out of a toxic environment wasn't enough." Because remember, last year he got on Instagram Live saying she was a bitch and she was mean to everybody around her. She had a terrible attitude and he was writing all her music and she was doing this
Yes.
and that. She said, "I'm tired of y'all trying to bully me and I'm tired of y'all dick eating this man because he's a big artist with a lot of money. Y'all believe in everything he says. He said he dropped me. I'm still signed. And he said he would show y'all the receipts of me owing $900K LMAO. Where they at?" Because that was a while ago that he said he owed her $900,000. First of all, who the fuck invested $900,000 into Karahbooo when she got one hit song? That doesn't seem like a good move as a label executive. Number one. Then she said, "Where are they at? We still waiting. I told him to put it on his kid and that he wrote all my songs. He ain't respond. I'm a mean person. It's crazy to say as well. Everyone I meet has nothing but nice things to say about me. This shit annoying as fuck and it's taken up a year of my life. It's evil as fuck. You have a daughter and you treating women like this is mind blowing. Like, I know you never see her, but that still doesn't make sense of how evil this man is to women, not just me. Oh, I love that shot she threw in there. She's fed the fuck up.
She is.
She's fed the fuck up.
And then you saw Yachty's response. And
he, like, had a Freudian slip there. Because he's like, because in the live, he's like, "Oh, she's capping. She says she can't release music. She don't have no music." Then in the next breath, he said, "You have the music. Why don't you just release it? I'm not just going to release you." He's talking about, "You still owe me jewelry that I gave you." And then she tweeted, like, "The jewelry he gave me was a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. And I have tried to give it back several times. No one is responding." He said she's like, "There are labels trying to sign me." She's posting screenshot, like a screen recording of all the songs that she has sitting in her drafts that she cannot release because he won't let her release any music. So he's talking about, first he said, in the first moment, he said she ain't got no music. Then in the next breath, he's like, "You have the music, you just lazy and you don't want to release it."
Yeah.
How is this not abuse?
That's so true.
How is this not abuse?
I didn't catch that. Because part of me, what I was going to say was that, like, I'm sure that the truth lies somewhere in the middle amongst the two of them.
It always does. It always does.
Like, I'm sure she has some music, maybe not a lot, but he's also probably restricting her in some ways that he does feel like he's right.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I wonder where the resolution is in this.
I think because when he seems like a really evil, vindictive person.
So you think it's him?
I do think he's like just being vindictive, like, because she was talking about, like, she's gotten kicked out of the group several times, but whenever he would get mad at her and they would get into an argument, he would kick her out of the group. But then, and this is what she said on her, like, TikTok live. Then she was like, but it never really mattered because then he would take it back, like, immediately. Then she was like, before Rolling Loud, she told him, "I don't want to wear these shorts and these fat ass Timbs. Can you please make a girl version of this?" And he got pissed. And he kicked her out of the group because she didn't want to wear those Timbs and the shorts. And she said, "Can you please make a girl version of this for me?" And then remember, he was on Instagram Live saying, "I'm dressing 7 niggas every day before I leave the house." Did somebody ask you to do that, nigga? I'm a grown ass woman. I don't want to wear that shit. The fuck are you talking about? I ask you to dress me?
Right.
And it's like, can't nobody talk back to the nigga or he gonna kick him out of the group. You gotta dress like it's like a fucking construction worker. Or you can't perform. He giving you gifts and then he's taking the shit back. Like, you know, that's vindictive to me. And I think it's just a little peek into how predatory the music industry truly is. Like, if we're doing deals based on handshakes, you know, and we're doing deals based on, like, your word, and you're telling me this is a gift, nigga, what is wrong with you? How can you? That's unprofessional as hell. Don't throw shit back in my face that you offered me.
Right.
Like you talking about you made me and you can take everything away from me. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? And that's the kind of shit that men have been trying to do to women in the music industry forever, since the beginning of time. Men are like, "I made you," but when you want to assert your own autonomy, when you want to like, when people start to like you a little bit more than they like me, now it's I have to put you back in your place.
Yeah.
You know, I got to make sure that I cut you down so you know you still need me. When in reality, she probably don't.
Or didn't even,
she probably don't need him no more. And this kind of reminds me of like Tina Turner, you know? Like when she, I mean, getting her ass beat for decades. When she left that man and he was like, you're nothing without me. It's Ike and Tina. People come to see Ike and Tina. And she actually had a bigger career when she left the nigga and started over in her 40s. And I think the problem is men hate it when you are not afraid to start over. When you are not afraid to leave them and start over. And they just can't take that you might not fucking need them.
You're right. The ego is sad.
All ego, and it's so vindictive and unprofessional. And I think this is why there needs to be unions and boundaries. Like, there's not enough boundaries in the music industry. It's like trading sexual favors for features, you know, pressuring you into sex, pressuring you into signing this, giving you gifts, and then saying you owe me money. Like, that's so underhanded and nasty.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not that I can't believe it. It's just that I'm just so disgusted by it.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
Anyway, let's move on. I hope he, you know, free Karahbooo for real. Like, let the girl out of her fucking contract if she's that useless to you, like you saying. You know what I mean?
That's true. And if you're not worried about the songs, then just you're
not worried about none of it.
He
her flop on her own.
He also said something. He was like, I'm not gonna. What did he say? He's like, I'm not gonna let you create music and I not get something out of it.
He's like, that's not how a label works, dummy.
Yeah.
You know, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, nigga, you just said that she's useless, that she's a bitch, she's evil around her. You right off. Moving on to some positive news. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just announced the 2025 class. And Salt and Pepper are going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I know. That's huge.
Let me read what they wrote.
Along with Outkast too, which is another
Outkast. Yes. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so let me read what they wrote on the Rock Hall of Fame site. It says, when Salt and Pepper jumped into the rap scene, a new era of hip-hop was born. A time for women to harness their own power and flip the male-dominated genre on its head. They established a new look and style with their spandex, asymmetrical haircuts, and Dapper Dan jackets. Musically, they mixed a 2MC flow with an expert DJ technique. Shout out to them not leaving her out. All while blending hip-hop beats with pop and R&B influenced melodies, and confident lyrics celebrating female empowerment. They were the first major all-female rap group and the first women in rap to go platinum, crowning them the first ladies of rap. Cheryl, Salt James, and Sandra, Pepper Ditton, were nursing students at Queensborough Community College when they met while working together at Sears. At the urging of their friend and later producer and songwriter, Herbie Lovebug Azer, they cut the track The Showstopper for his musical project. A response to Doug E. Fresh's single, The Show. The song was a radio hit, and the group soon rounded out their act by adding DJ D.D. Roper as Spinderella. The group's 1986 debut, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, gained traction, but it was the B-side to Tramp 1987's Push It that would catapult them onto the charts. Peaking at 19 on the Billboard Hot 100, the song's real impact came with its nomination for Best Rap Performance at the Grammys in 1989, the award's first ever prize in the rap genre, and a re-release album with the hit track went platinum. By 1990, Salt and Pepper began to flex creative independence with their album, Black's Magic, with Salt writing and producing Expression, their first track to top the Hot Rap Singles chart. Salt and Pepper spoke to a country shaken by the AIDS epidemic with Let's Talk About Sex, a brazen yet honest call for safety and agency. 1993's None of Your Business, off of the group's LP, Very Necessary, challenged sexual norms and gender roles even harder, and the track's Grammy win, a first for women in rap, proved their message landed. Additional singles, What a Man with In Vogue and Salt and Pepper's pen Shoop helped drive the album to 5 times platinum. Salt and Pepper received a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2021 at the Grammys, the first female rappers to ever get the honor. The group has inspired 5 decades of female MCs. MC Light said, "There's no way I can say that I wasn't influenced by Salt and Pepper. Their undeniable, provocative, fresh style, and worldwide commercial success broke ground for women in rap." Man. I mean, snaps. Snaps.
I mean,
snaps.
yeah.
Snaps.
I even forgot about some of those songs too, but like
Hell
the
yeah.
the accolades that came with it. First of all, they were in nursing school. Like
I
that's
mean,
crazy.
that's crazy.
To
Like,
get-
you go from nursing school to the fucking Grammys.
Don't let your day job stop you from
Hey,
reaching your
Hey,
dreams.
you better preach, okay? You better preach. Fuck that job,
Stop.
okay?
Yeah.
Fuck that job. No, I think that's incredible. And I think I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I think that it even comes to the point where female rappers are now being honored. Like this year, we had Roxanne Shante receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys. Then, barely 3 months later, Salt and Pepper getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's
The
huge.
girls are here to stay. And it's time that we finally stop making them and putting their achievements and the crazy shit that they've done in this male dominated field, especially at a time where sexism was so rampant and people felt like everything a woman did was because of what a man did for them.
Right.
It's incredible that now they're being, appreciated and respected for, I mean, truly, it was revolutionary at the time for them to be able to do this.
Right, right. And
And
especially like what you were saying about like or in the write-up about the different topics that they were addressing, like it was beyond just like what they were trying to do. It was about influencing the culture. It was about uplifting messages. Like, yeah. So I think that's incredible.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see who inducts them. Because I would love to see who they choose. I could see it being Queen Latifah. I could see it being MC Light.
Yeah,
I could see it being like one of those girls. Hell, shit. What if it was Lil' Kim? Like I could see her going to do that because is there not a very direct pipeline from them in the late 80s to her in the late 90s?
Yeah, totally.
So I think that's incredible. I want to see more of this. One day I want Nicki Minaj to get inducted. I want Queen Latifah to get inducted. I want Lil' Kim to get inducted. I want Foxy Brown to get inducted. They all deserve it.
Right.
Pioneers.
Totally.
Pioneers. I love it. And then I just and also on that note, Outkast being the first ever Southern rap group to be inducted. That is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
That is huge. Especially, I want to talk very quickly about this Mia X clip. Because she was on an interview and she was talking about like, does she feel like her place in music? Does she feel like she gets her flowers enough? And I'm gonna insert the clip here so people can hear what she's talking about.
I think that you get the flowers you deserve, or the recognition you deserve, or the respect you deserve as being the artist you are, and coming from all the things you've come from in the game and the parts that you play in the game. Do you think that you get your proper accolades as being who Mia X is?
The reason why I think I do is because I stay in the love. So instead of concentrating on who people think may hate or who I think may overlook me, I concentrate on who never overlook me, who always support me, who have been through the different chapters in my life, music and books and food. So I kind of stay there because we talked about this early, how the body can survive everything. It's the mind you have to worry about. And so if you stay focused on who don't love you, who forget you. Now, sometimes I do call myself Cinderella when I'm laughing with my other friends that have more notoriety. And I think a lot of it have to do with coming from the South. We got overlooked a lot, and sometimes when you're from the South, you become an afterthought. And not just the South, but like when you're not from Atlanta or you're not from Miami, because that's been the two go-to places when we think of like what's big in the South. When you, how can you miss Cash Money and No Limit? How can you miss that when we talking about the building of the South? But I stay in the love, so I don't have it on my heart, because a lot of people, when we don't stay in the love, it start coming out when we speaking and when we around people. You see the bitterness. You see when people feel forgotten, and that can cloud all the good stuff you got going on and the good stuff you did.
But I just loved her response to this, because she was talking about like, man, like a lot of times, Southern rap kind of gets being an afterthought. The South is always an afterthought, especially if you're not from Atlanta or Miami. And I know Outkast is from Atlanta, but I think, when he went up there to the Source Awards and was like, the South got something to say, Like that was very directly a response to hip hop being so coastal, you know,
Sure.
and not them not recognizing how vastly different, you know, the South
Mhm.
is and how deeply
100%.
important it is. So I mean, it's incredible that they're getting nominated, and I think it's absolutely deserved. I can think of several other Southern rappers too who deserve to
Right.
be inducted. I can think of other Southern rap groups that deserve
Mhm.
to be inducted, you know? So
Yeah.
I think that's incredible. I want to talk about Mia X. So Mia X in this clip that I found on Twitter, basically she was in an interview and she was talking about like how this like you know, they were like, "Do you think that you get like you get your flowers enough?" And she was like, "You know what I do?" She's like, "Because I stay in the love. You know, like I go where the love is and I go where I get my flowers and I'm not
That's
focused on the
huge.
negative." And I was like, "That's huge." I think that's
Yeah.
such a mature perspective to have.
That's
She
what
could
they say
teach a
in
girl
life
or
in
two
general.
about that.
Yeah.
She could teach Nicki Minaj something about that. She need to take that advice, girl. Go where the love is
Go
instead
where
of
the
you
love is.
dwelling
Yeah.
on where it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a
Um,
great perspective.
I love that. And you know, shout out to Mia X because absolutely, she's a rap pioneer, a Southern rap pioneer. I mean, she was at the very beginning of their being the forming of like No Limit Records and all these Southern rap groups, especially like New Orleans. You know, having
Mhm.
such a huge impact on rap and the reverberations still being felt today.
Definitely.
You
Yeah.
know, so I do think like she could get her flowers a little bit more in the mainstream, but I love that doesn't ever
It
affect how
doesn't bother
she
her. Yeah.
feels about herself. How
That's
she
huge.
feels about herself. Okay. We have some other stuff. Okay. So Megan is opening her own Popeyes in Miami, and she's bringing
Oh,
back the hottie sauce. Um, why in Miami? I'm confused. Do
I
they
don't.
eat there? I feel like they don't. Do they eat?
I don't know, but it is interesting that it's Miami. I love seeing her little walk there in her construction hat.
Yes.
Walking through her Popeyes and
Doing nothing.
getting excited, doing nothing,
Just looking
taking
around like,
pictures,
oh,
taking pictures. Like,
that's where that go? Okay, got you.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what the I
Mm.
see.
See,
Don't know nothing that's going on.
what's going on?
But I love that she's bringing back the hottie sauce. I
Yeah,
had
me
Popeyes
too.
yesterday.
Ooh,
It was not in honor of this, but you know,
Oh,
I
okay.
just did have Popeyes yesterday, and
just-
so now I'm like, I'm thinking about it. Like, yeah, okay, Megan. But you know what I realized is they actually gave her in her deal that she had with them a couple years ago, they gave her several franchises for her to
Oh,
open
that's
on her
actually real.
own.
That's a really good deal.
Ain't it?
Yeah,
Ain't it? So I kind of really love that she gets to do that. Like, you better diversify your income.
Yeah.
Diversify your income, girl. We should not just be relying on
On
music or
bam.
touring to like save us.
Mhm.
What else? Oh, Megan is being honored at an AAPI during AAPI Heritage Month for her. She will receive the One House honor for her support of Asian Pacific culture and creatives through her music collaborations, fashion looks, TV and film projects, and anime advocacy. That's beautiful.
Great.
Like, you better
I was like,
bitch, good
at first
for
I thought
you.
I was like, this is a little bit random, but then I was like,
Ain't it?
okay. I was like, okay, this makes sense.
It does make sense, you know, and good for her. Cause
Right.
absolutely, like, she do
Ally.
be putting on ally.
Hashtag
Ally.
ally.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, so the AMA nominations came out. The
Yes.
American Music Award nominations. Let's talk about that. So a lot of our girls are not nominated. So let's just go to the categories where I do give a fuck. So we have for social song of the year. I don't know what that means. If they
I
mean
know, I saw
social,
that.
if they mean social like viral or social like message. I'm
I think they
assuming
mean.
you think they mean
Oh.
viral?
I thought they meant viral.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't think these songs have like
I was
a
about to
kind
say
of
because
message.
I was like, $1 Million Baby.
Come
has
on
this-
now. Like, okay, so who's the nominees are Chaperones, Hot to Go, love that song. Joe, I don't know who the fuck that is. End of the Beginning, Doechie's Anxiety, Lola Young's Messy, Shabuzi's A Bar Song, and Tommy Richmond, $1 Million Baby. Obviously would love to see Doechie win. I, however,
Sure.
think it's going to be Shabuzi.
Oh,
or
okay.
Chaperone. Who do you think it's going to be?
I could see Shabuzi winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Doechii, like, Anxiety was pretty big,
I think it still is.
but also it's like, I don't know. I guess it's all within perspective.
It
of,
is
like,
truly
our...
all
because it's like
within
we don't
perspective.
because we don't even know who DJ JoJo
I
is
don't know who the fuck that is, but you know what?
so-
Good for him, I guess. We just exist on different parts of the internet.
Actually, that's true.
Because yesterday, we'll jump back to the AMAs in a minute. Yesterday, I was watching this docu-series on Netflix about like the negative or the dark side of kid influencers. And
behind the set or something like that.
no, that was on HBO
Oh.
Max. This
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
whole different one.
Okay.
That was about kid actors. This is about kid influencers.
Oh.
So in this docu-series or whatever, they're talking about like this woman who was kind of like the Svengali, like she started, you know, putting her daughter in pageants, then she started putting her daughter on social media, and the girl quickly amassed like a huge following before she was even 10 years old. And then
Oh,
she
wow.
created this thing called the Squad, where it's just a bunch of kids, like literal preteens, living in a content house, and they're forcing these kids to do all these challenges. They're forcing these kids to do all this work, and then behind the scenes, the lady was abusive to the kids and she was making sexual advances at them. And they
man.
sued her in civil court and won like $1 million dollars or some shit for some of the defendants. And she was kicking kids out the Squad whenever they was
What?
getting flipped with her. It was like Destiny's Child over there. You get kicked out the Squad.
Oh my
You get
God.
kicked. And I swear to God, these kids have millions of followers. I have never seen one of these kids. Never. I swear to God, none of these could be any kids off the street, Brianna. I ain't never seen none of them. And I'm like, this is a whole different side of the internet.
Yeah.
I would never have encountered any of these. I was just so shocked at like some of the shit that she was making these kids do. It's so sexual and just like unnecessary, and putting them through all of this like just so much, not even just sexual, it's just like abuse, like making them work all these long hours, doing these fucking weird ass pranks on them where they don't know that they're getting arrested and it's fake, and just a whole bunch of it's a whole bunch of weird shit. But
Jeez.
I didn't know none of these kids, and that's how I know it's different parts of the internet.
Parts of the internet.
What do you mean they have millions of followers? I've never seen or heard of them.
Yeah.
Never seen or heard of them. Anyway, back to the AMAs. Now moving on to our favorite category, favorite female hip-hop artists. The nominees are Doechii, Glorilla, Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, and Sexy Red. Why is Sexy Red nominated?
I'm telling you, somebody's working their magic behind the scenes.
Who do you think is going to win?
I
it's
think
between
Doechii.
two.
I think Doechii's probably gonna win based off of like her Grammy success.
Yeah.
I think she deserves to win.
I think she deserves to win.
Yeah.
I could see a world in which Glorilla would win, though.
Okay.
I could see a world in which Glorilla would win.
I could see it too. I feel like it's probably gonna be Doechii though.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be Doechii. And then for favorite hip hop song, we have Like That is nominated, TGIF, What You Know About Me, Not Like Us, and Luther. Luther doesn't really feel like a hip hop song. I mean, I guess, but it feels more like an R&B song than a hip hop song. I think it's interesting that Glorilla is nominated twice.
Yeah.
And I don't think she needed to be.
I agree. I don't think What You Know About Me
Not at all.
needed to
Not
be
at all.
here.
So that's interesting. I do think Not Like Us is gonna win though. Like, let's be
Yeah,
for real. Luther
sure.
could win though. People
I guess-
really like that song.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Not Like Us is gonna win though.
Not Like Us might win. You know, it's not like he gonna show up. Like, he don't give a fuck. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you know, good for him.
Yeah, I was like, he's in 3. The odds are in his favor.
I mean, truly, he's gonna win. You know, what a year he's having. Okay, should we move on to new music?
Yeah, let's do it.
Quite
There's so
a lot.
much.
We have quite a lot of new music. So there was this Doja Cat, Lose My Mind. It was a Don Toliver song featuring Doja Cat for the movie F1, which Damson Idris is in.
I know. I want to see it.
I want to see it just for that. You know, and I don't even
too.
like fast cars in movies. It's going to give me a headache. I can already foresee it. If cars start flipping over and flying at the screen, I already know I'm going to be
You've seen
pissed.
enough.
I need to be high. Like, if I'm going to go see this movie so I can relax. Like, I can't do it. Did you see Sinners?
I did.
Oh my God. Wasn't it fucking phenomenal?
It was pretty incredible.
I don't even know what I was expecting going into it.
Me either. And typically I'm not a thriller type of movie person, but I was
Me
like,
either.
I have to go see this.
Got to.
And it was really well done.
Well, extremely.
I especially like the scene where obviously like they had him playing the blues and like all the different ancestors
Oh my
coming
God, I love
together.
that.
That was an incredible scene.
Beautiful. I think this might be my favorite Michael B. Jordan performance because typically I'm not super fond of his acting,
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
in this I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he did a great job.
I
And
really thought it was phenomenal.
I think especially having to play two characters, like
Yeah,
he did a really
I
great
was
job.
so pleasantly surprised. I've really enjoyed that movie a whole fucking lot, and
Mhm.
I would go back to see it. 100%.
Shout out Ryan Coogler.
Shout out to Ryan Coogler. You know, I can't wait to see what he does next. Anyway, this Doja Cat song, what did you think about it?
It felt like movie music. Like
That's exactly what I said. That is exactly what I said.
The visuals were cool.
Oh,
like,
she looked incredible.
Yeah, like, but I was like, this is just movie
This
music.
is a soundtrack
track
song, bitch.
yeah.
And I just like, you know, I mean, Doja Cat,
And that's
as usual, she's gonna do what she kind of do. I won't return to it. It was pretty mediocre.
Yes.
Let's talk about this song by the Hot Girls. These Louisiana NOLA ass girl group called We on Fire, and I found it on Twitter. Somebody posted a video.
I love that.
I love girl groups. Let me just say, I love down south ass bitches. I would like Juvenile to get involved with these girls. Minnie Fresh to get involved with these girls. Like, I want to see how far they can take it. Fuck it. Fuck
I
it.
could see with the collabs. I particularly did not like the song.
Well, no, it wasn't great.
Okay.
Was it great? Wasn't
Okay,
all that.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
What about this Mona Leo freestyle?
I thought it was actually I enjoyed it.
I hated
a little
it.
Bit. I think she was just having fun. I think
hated
this
it.
is like nothing serious.
Thanks.
Like
Hated it.
I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm having one of those what do they call it? The like when you have a relationship with somebody online. Symbiotic relationship. Because I feel like I've been also seeing her wedding stuff too.
Is she
like,
married?
She's getting married this year. And so she's like posting like a bunch of stuff. Like she just did this like bridesmaids proposal box with her friend. And I'm like, man, like good for her. Like she's like going
That's
into this.
so cute and sweet. Did you do a bridesmaids proposal?
I have not.
Are you going to do one?
Maybe.
Ooh,
maybe.
That's so. I don't want your friends to listen to this and hear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
but
we'll see.
you know, that'd be it. It might be. Maybe you
might
won't get
be,
one. Maybe we'll just like be like, "Hey, show up." You know.
You know who you are.
You already know what it is. Like
you know what it is.
You know the vibes. What about? I didn't care for that song. What about the Shy Cartier song, "Weakest Link"? This is another one of the UK girls.
Let me see. I feel like I didn't like it, but I was like,
it just wasn't a very interesting song. You know, but what I did enjoy about this song, her voice. Her voice is very interesting to me. Like I feel like I'm drawn to it, and I want I want more. I want more. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so then there was the Malibu Mitch and Jeremiah and Vision Play Entertainment song Benjamin Crew. What did you think of this?
So I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by the song. I didn't particularly like Jeremiah's verse on here.
No.
But I thought this was like a perfect song for Malibu Mitch.
That's what I said.
You know what? And I was like, I feel like this is what Willow Brooks thinks she's doing. That's literally what I was thinking.
You know what? You're fucking right. You're fucking right.
I think she thinks she's doing this, and she's not.
She's not.
Something's not connecting.
You know what's interesting is I feel like a lot of people right now are interpolating and sampling and just doing like a Pharrell type of like music, like rapping and singing and like Neptune's type of beats.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I think on those type of beats, Malibu Mitch would sound good, but this beat is terrible.
Okay.
I think her verse is great. However, I think it's a waste of a verse on a terrible beat. But I do not hate the song. I gotta be honest. And it's the first Malibu Mitch song I've heard in quite a while that I have not hated. So to me, that's good.
It's a win.
To me, that's a win. That's a win. I count it as a win. I'm not giving up on my girl. Okay, what about the Mellow Bucks Back on My Shit featuring Star Bands?
I mean, like, I didn't really like the song, but shout out to Star Bands because she was one of the artists that I had said
Yes.
that is going to be coming up this year.
Yes, girl. These bitches sound so Chicago. Like, I mean, they just stray from the fucking South Side. Like, every time I hear them like rap, I'm like, it reminds me of home. Like, it really fucking does.
Star Band sounds so young too, though. Like, you could tell that she's like a teen. Yeah, like you could tell she's a teenager. But no, I didn't like the song.
No.
I was like, I think this was silly. Yeah.
But I do think, aside from that, from a pure technical standpoint, I think their skills are improving.
Mm-hmm.
I think
would
their
agree.
skills are improving.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
We're inching towards something that's usable. You know what I mean?
That's usable. Yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
No, I get it.
Let's talk about Gripper. Because I like it. I know people was hating on it. I thought it was okay.
It's okay. I feel like I need to listen to it again. I was like, not my favorite song.
But don't you think that Flo Milli does very well of flipping wildly popular songs?
Yeah,
and
she does.
She gets into her melodic rap bag so well. Also, T-Pain kind of ate this verse up.
Yeah.
Like, what was that about? I want T-Pain.
T-Pain is here for the girls.
I love that though. I have to say, because I love that song he did with Glorilla.
Yeah.
I love that song so fucking much. I want him to lock the fuck in. I want everybody to lock in with one of the rap girls. I want Wale and Megan Thee Stallion to be locked in.
Where's the Wale been?
I think he's releasing an album.
Really?
I think I saw that on Twitter.
Okay.
Low key, which is crazy because I have this playlist that I just made. It's like 2010s like strip club baddie music, and Wale is so heavy on that playlist. I feel like some people really forget he used to be that nigga. Like,
that's
and not even that he's still not. Not even that he's still not. Not even that he's still not. But he was so like heavy on my playlist when I was in high school, when I was in college.
Same.
And he really don't fucking miss. Like,
yeah,
I can't think of a time when Wale has not really delivered. You know what I mean?
Great features, always supported the girls.
In a good R&B rap collab. Like, oh, he eats that shit up, baby. Lotus Flower Bomb, my God.
That.
All-timer. These are all-timers, if you ask me. Oh, my God. What happened to him? You know what? No, I'm not going to say what happened to him. Because the album, he said that it's allegedly coming. I don't know. You know how people are.
They be talking, just like Cardi B.
I really would be interested. I want to hear it. I want everybody to lock in with their favorite rap girl. Choose one and get behind her. Okay. The song "Rebound" by Karahbooo. Here's what I think.
Which one was this? Yeah.
Here's what I think, because Karahbooo, I like her music, but I don't think she releases music frequently enough for me to like get behind her, to gravitate toward her. I will say, this to me is interesting. The sound of it. I don't know if you listen to this, but it gives indie sleaze in a way that sounds like 2012. You know what I mean?
I don't think I heard this one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's still to my point that like indie sleaze music is kind of having this resurgence. And I think this song sounds indie and alternative in a way that sounds like 2012, but in a good way. Like it really makes me nostalgic for that. And I think this is having a huge resurgence. Alternative music is having a huge resurgence as it relates to rap. And so I'm so interested to see, because it's like she's like, oh, Karahbooo is back. She's like talking like she's about to start dropping music again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tapped in, like tuned in for real this time,
Yeah.
So I love that. And it makes me think like also, and this might be something that she's heard before, but I would love for her to get in the booth with like Tierra Whack, Rico Nasty, Jean Doe, like those type of rap girls. I want Karahbooo to be collaborating with, because I truly think that like she would eat, she would eat. This West Side Gun Doechii song, my favorite thing about West Side Gun is nothing he raps about is relatable. I've never had to cook crack in an air fryer. I cannot say that I've ever had to do that. I truly I just think everything this nigga rap about, I'm like, what life
is
have you
unrelatable?
Lived? What life have you lived? Is it that bad in Buffalo, New York, nigga? What's going on up there? But I think this song, this remix with Doechii, this kind of feels more like the victory lap than that song that she released, the Nosebleed song she released after the Grammys, When
Yeah,
I
yeah.
listen to this song, I'm like, oh, she's talking her shit. She like, I'm in my motherfucking bag, niggas. Like, catch up, mustards. I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, like, I think this sounds like a huge victory lap for her after all the success she's had.
Yeah.
And I love it when girls do that because Doechii is absolutely on a motherfucking run. The
For
Met Gala's
sure.
tomorrow. The Met Gala's
Yes.
tomorrow. And you know she finna eat that shit up.
I'm actually so excited based off of the theme. Like, I think
Yeah.
she's gonna eat. I think Tiana Taylor's gonna
Oh,
eat.
you already know.
Obviously,
Tiana steps.
Zendaya's gonna eat.
Oh, you already fucking know.
I can
I
see.
think there's rumors that Megan might be coming. She might be going to the Met Gala.
Oh, okay.
I follow all the Met Gala pages on Twitter because I gotta stay active this time of year. You know, I like to judge from my home.
From her home, yeah.
And they said that Megan is in New York, and they think she's in New York for the Met Gala.
Cool.
So
No.
that's interesting. I don't know. Okay, the Bia song. What did you think about the Bia song? We on go.
This also sounds like soundtrack music to me.
You know, she does a lot of soundtracks. I'm realizing.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I'm not mad at this song in particular. I don't think this is like a download or like return to all the time, but
No.
I'm like, it's good like background. Like,
It's okay.
yeah.
What I realize is it sounds like a departure from her previous sound. Like this sounds like she's pivoting in a different direction. Like I obviously, you know, I didn't love the song enough to re-listen to it,
Yeah.
but I'm interested in the direction she might be going in. I'm like, okay, Bia, my ears are perked. What's next?
Yeah.
You know? BK the Ruler, Delilah, this sounds like a Playboi Carti song to me. And not in a good way.
I was like, I'm trying to see which one. There was just so much music that came out.
I know, I was shocked.
Let me see. Did I listen to this one? I feel like I did. Hold on. Yeah, I did feel like a Cardi song.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't particular. I don't even think I finished the song.
No. The Rico Nasty song, Butterfly Kisses, Can't Win 'Em All. I think I preferred Can't Win 'Em All. It sounds like, you know, something that's very true to form to her, but also very new. I think her sound really fits the song. And so I actually am interested to hear everything in the context of her album, which is coming out very soon, you know. And I love how confident she is in all of this music and all these releases. So I'm just like, I'm tapped in and I'm ready.
Yeah. I don't think I was able to listen to this song, but I am excited to hear.
Yeah.
As it comes like with her album release.
Absolutely. Okay, should we move on to our main topic?
Yes.
Girl.
When you sent this to me, I was like, ooh, this is tea. Like, this is something like
it's interesting.
It's interesting.
So today our main topic, we switched things up a little bit because I felt like there was a ton of discourse about Megan Thee Stallion on Twitter and on TikTok since the release of her new single Whenever. So I want to talk about, does Megan Thee Stallion's career need saving? So first of all, like there's been so many different reactions. Like people are talking about like, oh, you know, the chorus sucks to the songs that she makes. She needs to lock in with people who know how to write choruses.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like, oh, I love this song. People are, you know, always talking shit about Megan. And whenever she releases a new song, it's the same narrative. Like, she raps, she doesn't have the same flow. She raps about the same thing. But when Glorilla's songs all sound the same, everybody praises her for it. Y'all just hate Megan. Then Megan had to get on Instagram Live and is like, hey, we need to change our relationship. Like there has to be some boundaries that are set because, you know, people aren't feeling this single. And she was like, I thought I put this song out just for the hot girls. Like I'm curating a new hot girl summer. She was talking about in her radio interview, and people were just like so split on the song. And that caused all this discourse about her career. And so I really wanted us to have a conversation about the song and about her career as it stands and where we see it going. So with that in mind, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What were your reactions, not to the single, but to the discourse around the single when you saw it?
Yeah. So I don't think I saw the level of discourse until like you sent me like some of the materials.
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling a similar way of like, I didn't particularly like the song,
Mhm.
but I'm like, I don't always have to like all of her songs.
Yeah.
But when other people started to talk about how they were seeing, I guess, a shift in her music direction, I was like, okay, I guess I can see it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it also makes sense because she's been at this for what, like almost a decade?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah. So it's like, of course her music is going to evolve. Of course she's going to evolve.
Yeah.
And like the stuff that she talks about, her sound is going to be different.
Yeah.
And some people are going to like that and some people aren't.
Yeah.
And I think people might still be nostalgic of like how they met her versus who she is today.
That kind of thing I feel like always stifles hip hop artists though.
Right.
You know, and it's like, why can't you go listen to that old shit? Why are hip hop artists the only ones who are never allowed to evolve?
Mm-hmm.
Why do people always want to stifle them in their old sound?
Right. Exactly. And so, I don't know. I think the discourse was warranted because she is trying different things.
I thought it was a bit excessive to the point I'm like, this is just a quick little single. It didn't feel like this was going to be a single that was going to be like kicking off her new era. It just felt like she has this freedom to release music now and she wants to release music. She wants to shoot music videos. She wants to try out new things. Like, that's what I viewed it as. And so I didn't quite understand everybody. And why do I feel like this is the same thing that happens all the time? Like, I quite enjoyed her last mixtape. I enjoyed the first one. You know, I thought it had a handful of really incredible songs, but it felt like there's all this criticism that feels so much more like unwarranted. Like it's more criticism than I think the projects, the singles deserve. It's more dissection than I think any of the other rap girls really get, you know?
And I think that's a function of who she is.
Yeah.
Like, speaking about like her place in her career.
Yeah.
I think the only other person who would probably receive this type of scrutiny would be like a Cardi B.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that's the only other comparison. And since Cardi B doesn't release music as frequently as Megan Thee Stallion does, she's put on more of a microscope and dissected more, especially also because I think she is someone who cares about her craft, who writes her stuff, like cares about her visuals. And so people go a little bit harder.
They go very hard. And sometimes I'm like, damn, like, can a bitch breathe a little bit? Y'all don't ever give a bitch a time to learn a lesson, you know? Like, y'all don't ever give a bitch room to grow. Like, it's called growing pains for a reason. When you're figuring shit out and you're searching around in the dark, it's not always going to sound as great as you want to because you're finding your footing. Why can't she find her footing with this new sound? Why are people immediately like, no, and you're terrible, and this and this and that, and you suck, and your music sucks now, and I don't know what's wrong with you, and why can't you be who you were? I think that's so extra.
Yeah.
It's so extra. With that being said, let's talk about the new single. What are your reactions? What was your thought to the song?
I didn't
be honest.
Yeah, no, I didn't particularly like the song.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of like I don't think gimmicky is the right word. But I just thought it was I just didn't think it was like something that this version of her that I typically like listen to, I guess I would say.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be something more of like I guess bigger in Texas is like what I was hoping it was going to be like.
Okay.
But it wasn't.
No.
And so I was a little bit disappointed in that way. And when I was like listening to the music video, I was like, this is just like an okay song and I'm not going to come back to it. But I'm like, again, I don't have to like all the songs that she puts out.
Yeah. I think opposite of that, I liked the song. I thought it was fine. You know,
really? Okay.
I like the song. I don't get what people are talking about how like, because I don't think it sounds particularly like anything she's released lately. But people are saying like it sounds exactly the same. Her flow is the same. Blah blah blah.
I don't think so.
I think this is different than stuff she's been releasing recently. I like the song. I downloaded it. I feel like it's a fine song. I don't think it's like the best song she's ever released. But I don't think it's a song that, you know, warrants all this negativity and discourse. Like, it's one little fucking single that she's probably never going to come back to, you know, in a way of like, it's not going to be connected to anything.
Yeah, and like, okay, I think what people were talking about also with like her branding as well.
Yeah.
They're like, she has no branding direction, and they're like,
that's
you can't
ridiculous.
be like just putting a visual picture out and then just be expecting people to drop. Like, you need to be doing interviews and all this stuff. And I was like, dang, like I never got that. Like,
No.
that she didn't have a sense of who she was and her brand.
I've
Like,
never felt that way. I do feel
Yeah.
other things, but we can get to that. So let's talk about that though. What do we think of right now is working for Megan in her career? What is working well?
I think Meg as a entertainer and like entity is working really well. So like her with her brand deals, with her expanding, I think, her empire, she is doing an excellent job of securing brand deals and like establishing herself, I think, outside of music. I think that she does a good job visually as well. I think she's super creative, and I think she can tell stories really well. And obviously her lyricism, I think, stands apart than most artists. So I would say those are the things that are working well for her.
I think I agree. I think like she's an incredible lyricist, an incredible writer. Like she knows how to fucking rap. You know, and I think she's like, that's not something we can debate. I think she's an incredible live performer. She's really great at putting on a show, and she's really great at creating incredible visuals. I think she's really great at, you know, curating this, you know, image around herself of, you know, being the hot girl coach. I think her branding is quite clear, despite what most people say. I think it's very clear.
Yeah.
I think she can sell a product. I think she seems like she's a really great person. I think she continues to elevate her level of celebrity. And that plays a huge role in her being the superstar that everyone wants her to be. So I think all of that is working really, really well for her. Like, I think she's rapping well. I think she is, you know, in charge. You know, she's really in charge of her career. She's in the driver's seat of her career. And I think it's the first time that she's ever been able to be in the driver's seat of her career. And so far, I think so good for being, it's a little bumpy, the road, but I think, you know, I think that's working really well. So then consequently, or opposite from that, what do you think is holding her back from reaching the next level?
I'm not sure, because I also was starting to think, like, what is the next level for her?
I think the next level would be Nicki Minaj.
Like,
that
Nicki
level
Minaj being so, and I guess, like, how do you define that? Being a household name?
Absolutely.
Do you define that as like, okay.
I think being a household name, I think selling more, I think huge features, working with different producers and artists all over the world. And I think that is what is holding her back in her career. You know, I think there's also this level of her being like, you know, there are things that outside of the music that still make the rapper. You know, like Cardi B is this fashion icon, you know, and she gets to go to Paris Fashion Week and all these things, and she's looked at, and that really elevates her brand. And I think Megan could use that. But I think, in my opinion, what's holding her back from reaching the next level, I feel we don't know the inner workings of her career. So I couldn't say whose fault it is, but I think this singular nature of like her music, of I have to do the rapping, I have to do the chorus, I have to be the one writing, I have to work with this producer who I've been locked in with, who I trust, instead of, you know, branching out, working with new producers, working with some songwriters to make like really great choruses, getting a little help. And like, I think she needs more, not more cooks in the kitchen, but I think she needs a few more voices in her ear about exactly like what is going to work for Megan Thee Stallion. What can Megan Thee Stallion branch out and try music-wise? Who can Megan Thee Stallion branch out and work with in her career? And I think the continual use of some of the same producers and the same team, and, you know, I understand like she's been jilted a lot of times, like she's been burned a lot of times, and so she probably has a lot of trust issues with people who have not already been proven to be loyal to her. But I think she got to step out on a limb and work with more creatives, work with a lot of different creatives, the way that Beyonce does, you know, branch out, put people on, get on with other artists. I want Megan Thee Stallion to be doing more features. I want Megan Thee Stallion to be in the booth with like legacy producers. Like, why is she not in there with Pharrell? Why is she not in there with Soundwave? Why is she not in there with like all these incredible producers who I think could be doing some really amazing things for her career? But I think that's holding her back.
So expanding her creative reach outside of her loyalist group,
Yes,
basically,
of
is what's
creatives.
selling.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying to get her to the
I think
next
it's holding her
level.
back. I think another thing that's holding her back is something that I said about when we were reviewing Act 1 back in the summer. It kind of feels like she always has to be on the defense in her music.
Okay, yeah.
And she feels like she always has to prove herself and prove her place. And I think I see that that's a common thread among a lot of female rappers that I don't see among male rappers, is they always feel like they have to be on the defense in their music because they're fighting against Stan Twitter. And I feel like there's certain female rappers who don't really do that. Like Doja Cat, a lot of times, she's out of the loop as far as like what's going on in female rap Stan Twitter world. Like, she does a really good job of keeping herself isolated from that. But a lot of the girls do fall victim to being like, I deserve to be here. I prove my place. I rap my music. I'm this and I'm that. Fuck you. And the music is always defensive. We don't always have to be on the defense in our music. What's it going to sound like when she starts releasing music that is not on the defense? I think that's holding her back in her career because she feels like she has to say everything in every song, address everything.
That's fair. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So then
I feel like you're giving me a lot to think about. I think like that's a good point. I'm also thinking about like what you said about features as well, like elevating the different features that she has.
Yeah.
I feel, but I don't know. Like, I would argue the point where you were saying like she needs to hop on with some more folks. Like, she did, what is it, the BTS, like
That's
people who are
true.
internationally.
That's true.
She had a feature with like a Maroon 5, like that's a very established group. Like, I don't know, like who else did she do a song with? I'm thinking of another pop
Dua
person,
Lipa.
or Dua Lipa. Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like she's with these other people who are in different categories that would diversify or elevate her in those different spaces.
No, you're right.
Right?
So then why do I feel like it happens and then it just goes away? And the relationships aren't being sustained and it's going nowhere, and she's not linking up with their producers or their writers or this massive reach that those people have. Why can she not grab onto that?
Is that the point?
I don't know if it's
that
the point. I don't know if
you know
it's
what
the
I mean?
point. I don't think it's the point, but it's something that I was thinking about.
Because I'm trying to think about, like, in comparison to Nicki Minaj, right? Like, I think she has obviously, like, dabbled within pop, but still remained very rooted within hip hop as, like, her primary place to be. And I guess I'm trying to think about how Megan would be elevating to that space
You know
as
what I
well.
think it would take, though, is it would take like a Nicki Minaj, like 2014, 2017 kind of like feature run,
Okay.
and just like, we don't need a ton of singles. We need you on features. We need you on features with a lot of different like
And you're like
artists.
bodying those features.
Yes,
you
like
become the
make
star
those
of
songs
those.
your own, not like Glorilla, who's getting on these clunkers and can't save them. No matter how hard she carrying them with all the strength in her back, in her legs, and it's still, she can't do it. Okay. And it's not that she's not talented, it's the songs suck.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want
that's
Megan
fair.
to do that per se.
Right.
But
like,
I
be
would
choosy
like
about it.
that. I would like that. Because I feel like, I don't know the situation of Megan Thee Stallion and her relationship with like people in the music industry, but when you see people talking about Megan Thee Stallion who work in these industries, they don't have negative stories about her. They don't have negative things to say about her. So why is she not working with them? Why are they not working with her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like you said like it was a double-edged sword. It sounds like she's like the driver of her career.
That's true.
Is a good thing, but then conversely, it's also like, what exposure is she lacking because she is the driver?
Yeah. And I think that then is like the moves on. We already kind of addressed that. So then let's move on to the next question. Like, do we think her career is stalled at this level? Or can it reach the next level? Or will she forever be at this level music wise? And
I don't think so.
okay.
I don't think that she's stalled. I think it's like, I think she's getting back to a place of like authenticity. Like, I think that from Megan's Act 2, we both were like, oh, like, this is her.
Yeah,
like, this is
I
like
agree.
who she
I
is.
agree.
And I think it's building off that momentum
Yeah.
of like becoming comfortable with who she is, how she sounds, the type of song she wants to release. Like, I don't think she's stalled. I think maybe it's the growing pains that you talked
That's
about.
a great word for it. I don't think she's stalled. I think she's in a phase of transition.
Yeah.
She's in a moment of transition in her career. And because she became famous during this moment in which everything is, you know, publicized and everything is on social media and every moment is the biggest moment and people make a mountain out of a molehill. All of her growing pains are on this like jumbotron.
They're on
For
display,
people to every growing pain she's having, all of the things she's trying out, and maybe they're working or maybe they're failing, is like for everyone to see. So that can't be easy for you to be trying to change as an artist, to come into your own, to finally be like a kid in a candy store with your own music. Like you're off the leash now. 1501 is no longer holding you back. Now it's just Megan Thee Stallion. And you're like, on one hand, I know what to do. On the other hand, damn, look at all the possibilities. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. So I don't think her career is going to be stalled at this level, but I do think what we're seeing right now with Megan Thee Stallion is a season of growing, of like, what do you call it? So not like you're doing the gardening of the seeds. You're planting the seeds that are going to grow. And I think when we think about women who've gone through this kind of transition in their life, I think back to Nicki Minaj in 2017 and 2018 when she released that album that everybody fucking hated, and she really had to take time to reflect because she had a rough year that year because she was going through some growing pains. The industry was changing so rapidly, and she found herself at a crossroads in her career where now people are putting other women in the conversation with you, and you can't, and they're sticking. So it's not like before where you have no competition, where these girls just go away. Now there's diversity, and now you got to deal with that shit. And she had to confront it. And so then she went away. She got pregnant. She came back. She was still acting a fool, but she had found her footing a bit, and she was comfortable in the decisions that she made when it came to releasing Pink Friday 2. Even though we gave the album like a 7 or 8, whatever.
Yeah.
It was it was okay. Wasn't great. But what I could tell was that she had taken those growing pains that we saw happening in public from 2018, 2019, and she had really applied it. And she's like, okay, this is the place that I'm in right now. Whether or not we saw that, whether or not she discussed that, which she really didn't, you could tell.
Yeah, I mean, she talked about that, the writer's block too.
Yeah,
that's
real.
Yeah.
That's real. So I think right now, and I think that's okay. We have seen artists go through this time and time again.
Exactly.
We have seen this happen where artists go through these growing pains and they're changing as people. Their music is changing. They don't maybe once believe the things that they once believed. And I think back to Beyonce, and we always bring her up. I'm always bring her up. But like, think of all the albums pre-self-titled versus post-self-titled. It's a completely different Beyonce, but throughout self-titled, when you go back and you listen to that album, it feels like Beyonce is going through those growing pains and she's able to work out what's going on. So with the next release, it was like, damn, this is a different fucking Beyonce on Lemonade. This is not the bitch I once knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think even to Kendrick, the time jump from like Damn in 2017 to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers in 2022. That's a different Kendrick. Like, I mean, my God, when you go back and you listen to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and just everything that he was going through, having to deal with that level of superstardom, having to deal with the shit in his marriage, having to deal with, just the growing pains of being like a grown, all of that. You're almost a middle-aged man now, having kids and all that. Like, you see artists do this. So I don't understand why Megan Thee Stallion is being scrutinized for it.
No, I agree.
I don't.
People just seem to go harder for her for some reason.
She
don't
seems
like her.
they just think she's an easy target.
Yeah.
Because there are all of these same talking points that people always go to when it comes to talking about her.
And how did you take what she was saying on her live about like this relationship needs to change?
I agree.
Like between her and the hotties.
I agree.
Like how did you take that?
Y'all not fucking managers, okay? You cannot tell this girl how she needs to be promoting or releasing music. Like, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? I'm sorry, it's too much. I follow several Megan Thee Stallion accounts on Instagram so I can keep up with or on Twitter so I can keep up with what she's doing. Y'all gotta chill the fuck out, for real. You know what I'm saying? I 100% agree with her. It's just getting too parasocial is not the right word. Because I don't think it's to the point where because a lot of what they're talking about is not her personal life. It's just the music and the way that she's making her business decisions. Hey, calm the fuck down. That's what I felt. Calm the fuck down. Everybody, please calm the fuck down. She's going to be okay. Don't call Paw Patrol. She's cool. Okay, I don't get that. It just feels like they're like,
it's just too much.
This song needs to debut on the Hot 100. This song needs to. It's like, shut up, stop, please. Just enjoy the fucking music.
Yeah,
just enjoy the fucking music.
That's fair.
And it brings me to my last question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think she needs to sign a new record deal, or will remaining independent for the time being work for her?
I feel like she can still remain independent. I think that maybe where she can benefit, to your earlier point, is maybe having consultation of other people that she trusts, that can help continue to elevate her career.
Yes.
Of identifying the blind spots that maybe we don't see.
Yeah.
That could help her get to that next level. So I don't think it's about having a deal. I think it's just having more people, potentially other people in her corner who have help other artists go through their evolutions.
Yeah.
And help her elevate. So I think it's just having some more help.
I think with a deal comes those resources, though. And I know she has a distribution deal, but I don't quite understand what that means or what it's been doing for her. I think eventually she's going to have to cave. Like, we're going to need a new record deal. She can release Act 3 before she does that and see where it can take her to give her some more leveraging room or whatever. But I do think that a new deal is needed. There needs to be more strategy in her releases. There's too many errors with the album not being available, the single not being it's too much. There's too much room for error. There needs to be, more creatives, more executives, not making opinions on her music, but on the strategy behind it, behind releasing, the marketing. Like we always say, everything is somebody's job. And she needs those people who do the jobs, who do the A&R, who connect you with the producers, who do the, sending songs to radio and make sure they're getting on the right playlist, who have all the connections and all these different companies and things like that. It's all interconnected. It's very incestuous a business. She needs to get up in there.
Got it.
I think she needs a new record deal.
I was going to say, so you think she needs a new record deal? Sounds like.
I do think she needs a new record deal, but I don't want her to rush into a new record deal and she can't continue to play with this fun that she's having with her sound, because right now at this independent level, the only money that's being gambled is her own, and she seems happy to spend it.
Yeah, because she believes in herself.
She believes in herself. She believes in the work that she's doing. She can do what she wants. And after being trapped in a label that really used and abused her for so long, I could see her not being ready to rush into it and enjoying the freedom of independence. So I think she needs to continue to have that freedom. But I do think eventually, if we want her to get to that next level, she gonna need somebody to put some money behind her. Put some
Yeah.
people in those rooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I hear
Yeah.
where you're coming from.
So, should
Wow.
we do music recs?
Sure.
I feel like I want to recommend a Megan Thee Stallion song.
Okay.
Just because I have
we
one.
just talked so much.
And
Yeah.
we just talk so much. Like, love her down.
Love her down.
I'm never gonna turn my back on the girl. Like, I mean, I love the music, man. I
Me
don't
too.
have nearly as many complaints as other people have about her music.
Shit, me either.
But I have two recs. One of them is a Jean Doe recommendation. I want to recommend Anytime featuring Kehlani.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite Jean Doe songs. One of my favorite Kehlani verses. Like, I think everybody slid on that song. But I also want to recommend Neva by from Tina Snow. Because it
Yes.
came on my gym playlist the other day while I was lifting. I was like, damn, I haven't heard this song in a minute. And it still eats, still goes hard. So those are my music recs. I had two this week. Anytime by Jean Doe featuring Kehlani and
Anytime.
Neva by Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay. I feel like I need to pick a Megan song too, because I had I don't think I did this last time, but I've been listening to Grip by Baby Tate.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah, me too. And so it came on I think it was Harlem, that show Harlem on
I've never
Star,
seen that
or
one.
you haven't seen Harlem?
What is it on?
It's on Amazon Prime
Oh,
actually.
okay.
It has Megan Good.
Oh,
and,
wait, I think I've seen like TikToks of this.
They just finished their 4th season, but I think the song was in there. And so I was like,
go ahead, Baby
cute.
Tate.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
good for you. But okay, I'll say Grip for Baby Tate, and then a Meg Thee Stallion song. I will say, you know what, NDA, because I think the last time that we talked, you were telling me about how I think when we were going through like our best records for an artist, you were like, yeah, NDA is like one of those songs that I hadn't heard in a minute.
I think so. I love NDA. It's on my gym playlist too.
I'll say
a lot
NDA
of my gym
too.
playlist is Megan Thee Stallion.
Same.
As you will find. Okay, guys, if you made it all the way back, all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for listening to another episode. And we will see you guys in our next episode. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girls At, a podcast about Black women in hip hop. Where My Girls At is produced and edited by Mariah Woods and hosted by Mariah Woods and Brianna LaRosliere. Follow us on Twitter at Where My Girls At 2, on Instagram at Where My Girls At _TH, and on TikTok at Where My Girls At Pod. See you next time.